Now, I often cover topics in my videos that could easily be considered divisive, things that a lot of us don't agree on. Well, tonight I want to talk about something that we can all easily agree on, and that is that women should not be allowed to have guns. I mean, let's face it, nature, via evolution, has spent the entire existence of the human race crafting women to be the perfect victims. They just need to accept this. They need to take this to heart and just learn how to be proper victims. Learn how to accept victimization in a way that guarantees their survival or presents the least chance of them actually being killed while they're being victimized. Because let's face it, we all know they don't possess the capability to actually use a weapon like a firearm. They just can't do it. They're women. If they were able to do stuff like that, they'd be men. Giving them a handgun just guarantees one thing, that a man, let's face it, it's usually men that attack women, will take it from them and use it on them. So giving them a handgun just guarantees their demise. Now, this might sound like some real misogynistic crap, and you might say, how could anyone believe this kind of stuff? Well, believe me, I don't believe this. Most of my friends are capable, competent, independent women, and I would never think this way. I would never even say anything like this. In fact, I would think it's absurd to even pretend to believe something like this. But apparently that line of thinking isn't that absurd, because there's a lot of people who obviously think that way. They obviously will actually willingly and publicly present arguments that kind of fall into that line of reasoning. One such person, and I hope I pronounce her name right, is Colorado Senator Evie Hudak. Now, recently during a hearing on campus carry, whether people should be allowed to carry handguns on campus, a person gave testimony, a rape survivor gave testimony that if she had been allowed to carry the gun that she was licensed to carry at the time of her attack, she would have been able to successfully defend herself. Now, Senator Hudak actually went on record as saying to her, you know, if you had had a gun with you, chances are it would have been taken from you and used against you. That you would not have been able to use that to defend yourself. You're a woman. And if you couldn't overpower your attacker physically, and she went on to say, well, you've taken karate, so you should be able to overpower him physically. And the very fact that that wasn't able to make you, be able to overpower him shows that using a gun probably wouldn't have worked either. You would probably be killed. Then she cites some bullshit statistic that I don't know where she got from, but I haven't been able to verify it or find it. I found things that kind of go along with it, but aren't really the way she presented it. She gave a half-truth of a statistic. Now, I'm sure in her real life, Senator Hudak is a compassionate, caring, lovely woman. But it seems to me the very fact that the woman has a disadvantage when it comes to overpowering a man isn't a reason to not carry a gun. That seems like the very reason to carry a gun. That seems like if you're starting off with such a disadvantage, and like I said before, let's face it, it's usually men that attack women. Louis C.K. makes a joke that he goes on a blind date with a woman and she asks, where are we going? And he said, well, statistically, to your death. Because men are responsible for most harm that befalls women. So if you're starting off with that deficit already, it seems to me like that would be more reason to try and level the playing field. And let's face it, guns are great equalizers. And a little side note, during the actual hearing, the senators were actually implying that the anti-gunners' desire to feel at ease, the fact that they felt uneasy with no justification whatsoever, the fact that they just felt uneasy when other people exercised their right to self-defense, the fact that their desire to feel at ease somehow trumped someone's right to self-defense. That whole thing was a little bit disturbing to me, but that is going to be a topic for another video. Back on topic, I'm sure Senator Hudak is a perfectly typical, hardworking, competent politician. But when it comes to expressing her views, these sexist, outdated, victimist, I guess you would say, views of what women are and should be, I think she should really just keep those in her purse from now on. Probably next to a handgun and some mace. Because y'all know, politicians, they have a right to defend themselves. It's only when we do it that it's a problem. You ain't even my real dad.